Hi everyone, this is Julie Green. This is an extra Julie Mad Blogger broadcast. I do a YouTube, except it's so much easier to get these up online. If there's any background noise in here, I apologize. I have a very noisy neighbor next door. She's not a partier, no. She's an elderly lady that blasts her TV from the beginning of the day till the end of the day, every single day, 7 days a week. I'm trying to deal with this, but at any rate, I'd rather, I want to go out, but it's raining. At any rate, so here I am. And there's also kind of shouting in the hall right now. If the microphone picks that up, I'm sorry. At any rate, it's raining, and I've taken the time to do a little bit of house cleaning in here. The reason being, I have some papers that I had to find, and I finally said, the heck with it, I'm going to have to go through the possible places where the paper might be found. I might have stashed it, in the course of rearranging my things over the years. And finally, after going through the places where it might have been, I found the paper. And I also found a few other things. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to share with you something that I found. It's a bit of memorabilia. It's a poem, and it's a poem I wrote the 27th of October, 2002. I want to tell you where I was at the time, and where I'm at now, and share with you that if you're feeling hopeless right now, there is hope. Because, folks, I've been knocked down in my life so many times. I mean, and in every way, every dimension of my life, has really been knocked to pieces. And yet, I'm still going. And if there's hope for you, if there's hope for me, there's plenty of hope for you. But at any rate, I want to share with you, first of all, finding this old stuff, it's kind of hard. It's not easy. Because in order to find this research paper that I don't have in soft copy, I had to go through some old stuff, and I uncovered stuff that, it wasn't easy to find it. And, say to myself, well, this is an old memory, and what does it mean, and what does it all mean, and all these years that have gone by. It's not easy to look at that stuff. But, what do I think about it all? Is it sad? Is it happy? I don't know. And some of these things, it's just amazing that they've lasted all these years, some of these things. And, many of these items, some of the photographs have dates on them. Many of them, I've written the dates right on the photographs myself. Photographs of people, places, things, my dogs, activities, all kinds of things. And cards people gave me. They're all there. Some of them stashed in a rather disorganized fashion, and I know when I moved here I had to quickly put things in a pile and just go. So I did that, and then I put everything in a drawer. But these I've found, and I said, well, I got to put them elsewhere because I want to make room for everything else. So, in October of 2002, things were kind of changing in a way. I do recall that I felt that I couldn't really share with anybody how I felt about my body. For one thing, gaining weight very rapidly. I shared with Joe, I said, I don't understand why I'm gaining weight like this, like crazy. Why? And he says, Jules, I don't know. And he said, maybe it's the medication, you know. And I said, I don't know. And we would just kind of look at each other, but we didn't know. And I also felt that my mind was slowing down, getting sluggish, that I couldn't put my thoughts together, that I couldn't do the things academically that I used to be able to do, that my thoughts weren't working right, and I didn't know why my mind was so sluggish, and why I couldn't perform academically up to par. Oh, sure, my grades were fine, the straight-A student I always was, but I wasn't able to process things the way I could before. I felt like I was really seriously slipping. And, of course, it was quite evident when I got to graduate school at Goddard. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I could not. My first couple of semesters, I could not get my mind to work at all. And, you know, my feelings of dismay over my body, which by then was not just a few pounds overweight, but just obese and sluggish. And finally, I couldn't even walk because my knees just wouldn't hold me. Yeah, the answers all pointed to it. Seroquel. It was the Seroquel. When I finally got off of it, my mind unlocked from this mind-numbing drug, and I did just fine. I excelled at graduate school. I began to write like mad, and, you know, this is what was locking it up the whole time. But at any rate, that was where I was at in October of 2002, with my weight just climbing and feeling like, oh my God, my mind is so locked up and I just can't think in what is happening to me. But graduation was coming up. It was approaching. I did have to write a thesis for graduation. That was coming in the spring of 2003. My thesis was actually a bit lame, but it was a collection of fiction stories. I'll admit my thesis professor was like pulling teeth. It was hard. He was just not showing up at our meetings, and he didn't want to do any work, and that was another story and a half. But I did what I could and pulled it all together. Not that I really wanted to admit that to anyone. Here's the poem at any rate, which I'm going to read. It's called For Joe. On the sidewalk, a teen whittles an oak branch, perfectly crafted. Looking at each other, we laugh. How on earth did we get here? It's always the same spine, the same sad whisper. Our cheeks crease unnoticed. Our hair, our rumps follow. The boy's jackknife flashes. He mounts, rides off, waving. Earth abandons her poles. Time, that trickster, disguised as delicacy, draws us as close as two muscles intertwined in the same perfect limb. An item saved, a given. Let us pick life off the bones, meat falling into our laps. We are still hungry. We lick our fingers like children. Blood, sweat, urine, a forgotten dose. The inner skull unfolds. A flood of innumerable pages. Our oneness always new, embryonic. No need to plagiarize. Moving together like tectonic plates, we hug the earth, each other. The rest is redundant. We have dreamed of this all our lives. Joe passed away in August, the next August, August 19th, 2003. And we had no clue. I remember the night before he died. It was I guess it was around it was the night before he died. I spoke to him on the phone, and he sighed over the phone. I could tell he wasn't feeling well. He sighed and he said to himself, he mumbled to himself, "Oh God," like that. I knew he was not feeling well. And he dropped me off 2:00 in the afternoon, October 19th. That was the day he died. It was sometime between then and I went to bed at 4. They called me the next morning, it was Wednesday, to tell me that he had passed away. The funeral was the following Saturday. That was the day that I came home to find out that I'd been accepted to graduate school. This was all just over 10 years ago. I love you, Joe. Bye-bye, everybody. I'll talk to you Sunday night, unless I do another surprise broadcast. Bye-bye.